We're about to do a great story on Larry Flynt, but we made that graphic anyway. That's Larry Flynt in there. I hate to compare him to Dog the Bounty Hunter, but he's put a bounty on information about Donald Trump, and that I love. Larry Flynt's an American hero. He fought for the freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and he's done some great service before in going after hypocritical politicians. I'll tell you about that in a second. Now he's going after Donald Trump. He's put out a $10 million bounty for information leading to the impeachment and removal from office of Donald J. Trump. So he put out a tip line, both on the phone and online. So 1-800-251-2714 if you know any information that could lead to the impeachment of Donald Trump. And he's like, look, his billionaire friends probably won't do it. By the way, the email is hustlertipline@lfp.com. He said his billionaire crony capitalist friends probably won't do it, but there's got to be somebody in Trump's universe who could use 10 million bucks, and they have no principles or conscience anyway. I mean, they went and circled their wagons around Donald Trump. Those are not people with a deep degree of principle. They're in it for the money. And in fact, Flynt says, impeachment would be a messy, contentious affair, but the alternative, 3 more years of destabilizing dysfunction, is worse. And he said, I am confident that there are many people in the know for whom $10 million is a lot of money. Make no mistake, I fully intend to pay this entire sum. And he's not kidding, and he's a man of his word. So if you're one of those moralists, you say, oh, Hustler magazine, that has dirty pictures of people doing really fun things. Well, okay, then go away, piss off, and enjoy your moralism and judgment of other people in a corner. But Larry Flynt isn't having any of that. He's actually putting his money where his mouth is, saying this guy's a danger to the world, and I'm going to do my best to get him out. He has done this before, and it has worked before. So first, he offered $1 million bounty to about Mitt Romney's unreleased tax returns at the time, or any details of his offshore assets, bank accounts, and business partnerships. Now, as it turned out, Romney wound up releasing his tax returns, unlike Donald Trump. I don't know if it was partly influenced by the pressure that Larry Flynt put on. But there was another instance, famously, where Larry Flynt absolutely delivered. He put out a $1 million bounty back in the late 1990s, saying, have you had a sexual encounter with a current member of the United States Congress or a high-ranking government official? He did that because he was disgusted with the hypocrisy of the Republicans who were going after Bill Clinton at the time for impeachment based on sex charges. And he said, look, he lied about sex. Everybody lies about sex, especially if they're married. And you could agree or disagree with him, but he said, these moral hypocrites that are prosecuting him and pretending to be for family values, he said, I can't wait to bust them. And he did. Newt Gingrich, who, by the way, was also having an affair at the same time as he was trying to prosecute Bill Clinton, was stepping down. So then the next Speaker of the House was going to be Bob Livingston, Republican from Louisiana. And Larry Flynt got him. He got information about his affairs, and he was going to publish it. Bob Livingston preempted it by immediately resigning. So Bob Livingston and Newt Gingrich were giant hypocrites. Livingston at least had the decency to go crawl into a cave and not bother us anymore. His wife eventually begged Larry Flynt not to put out the actual information, and he did not put out the CD details because he's a decent guy. The whole point was to show you their hypocrisy, and it was mission accomplished, and he did pay the amount. So when he says he's going to pay you $10 million, if history is any guide, he will, but it has to be real information, and it has to lead to Donald Trump's impeachment. And I hope to God he's successful, because as I've said 1,000 times on the show, Donald Trump is a danger to the republic, to the Constitution, to the country, and to the world. Whether it's the 25th Amendment, impeachment, or charges based on his dealings with Russia, I'm happy to get him out of office immediately. Larry Flynt, ironically, once again, doing God's work. If you like this clip of the Young Turks, you know there's a whole live 2-hour show, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern every day, and you can download it or stream it and watch it without ads if you become a member. TYTnetwork.com/join.